What's going on, everyone, and welcome to Movie Emporium's movie review of Hillbilly Elegy, the newest Netflix original movie that's directed by Ron Howard. Before we begin, hey, if you like my channel, awesome, hit the subscribe button and join Movie Emporium. Hit that notification bell at the top to find what's coming next. If you like this video, awesome, hit that like button and comment below on any video that you watch, including this one. So Hillbilly Elegy is a true story of J.D. Vance, which is played by Gabriel Basso in this movie. J.D. Vance was an individual who, because of his background, because of what he had to deal with within his younger self, and the kind of the motivation of his grandmother, who's played by Glenn Close, he was able to, not only go to the Marines to gain money for college, but he ends up going to Yale to become a lawyer. He meets his future wife, who's played by Freida Pinto, who plays Usha, and he is able to kind of gain and rise above his status of being a lower class, poor individual when he was growing up as a young kid. And in the process of this movie's playing along, we see him having to go back to his hometown because of everything that his mother has done with her drug abuse problems. And of course, his mother's played by Amy Adams. And we kind of see the past and how all those things kind of manifested to the point where he is now when he has to go back home, when he's in the middle of, interview week to kind of have a summer internship at a law firm and whatnot. And so we see a lot of times when this movie goes back and we see the trials, the tribulations, the uncomfortable nature of what happened to J.D. Vance, how his mother treated him, how his mother had to go through so much problems and pressures, how she just couldn't keep a job, how she kind of just abused the situation. And then we see a grandmother who goes above and beyond, even though she's strict and stern and she's very forceful in how she acts. She's able to kind of put herself into the situation and allow a character like J.D. Vance to improve his status in life. And so with that said, we got this whole entire movie, which is just a complete chaos of just sadness and depression, but uplifting nature as the movie moves along. So moving the synopsis out of the way, this film, Hillbilly Elegy, is a very different film for Ron Howard. And the reason I say that is Ron Howard has a very distinct style to him, a very distinct directorial way he does films. You look at stuff like Solo and Willow and Cinderella Man and A Beautiful Mind and Rush and Frost Nixon and so on and so forth. They all have a very Ron Howard feel to them. So him going into something like Hillbilly Elegy is a very unique idea and very interesting kind of concept, because this movie in a nutshell is nothing like I've ever seen Ron Howard do before. And it's also written by Vanessa Taylor, who wrote Shape of Water as well as some of the Game of Thrones episodes. But it's a movie that goes to such dark places and goes to such uncomfortable scenarios, and just the nature of how, the Amy Adams character and the way she acts and how she portrays herself really gets in the way of JD's character and how he wants to, grow as a human being. The fact that the Haley Bennett character always has to be at his side rescuing him. The fact that we have the grandmother, who is a very stern, very outlandish, kind of in-your-face, forceful character, really is the center of the kindness that is shown in this movie. But it's a movie that Ron Howard really has never done before, and it really shows. There are points in this movie where I'm like, am I even watching the same director do a movie? Because it's just such an uncomfortable movie to watch. It gets to points where I'm just like, my skin starts to crawl, because I'm like, man, it's just really brutal. I mean, this movie is really brutal. It's a hard movie to watch, and it's really such a strange experience, seeing such just despair and sorrow, watching a unfortunate poor class family or a low middle class family just have to struggle, having a mother who's a very into drugs, having to go from job to job to job, having to get her own son to give her clean urine. It's a movie that I want to truly love, but it's hard to, because of how uncomfortable and sad and depressing it really gets. And with it being a Ron Howard film, it's a film that I wasn't expecting to watch. I was not expecting to see this movie go where it went. But I guess because it's based off the memoirs of J.D. Vance's character, I think maybe it had to go there. I think it's one of those things where Ron Howard knew what he was getting himself into, and he probably went to dark places as he was directing this. And the people and the actors and actresses in this movie went to truly dark places to get this film made. And therefore, I give it a lot of credit for attempting to kind of push pushed the envelope on what we can deal with and how much we can deal with. And it's very kind of true to nature in today's society, with a lot of people who can't afford things and the nature of the drug abuse and stuff like that. It's a very prescient type of film that is a very, like I said, hard film to watch, but it has a lot of great moments in it. It has a lot of uplifting moments, especially near the end of the film, that you kind of feel good. It's that type of film as the movie moves along. And as it's been kind of touted, Glenn Close is the grandmother in this movie, and she is really good in this movie. I actually forgot that Glenn Close was even in this movie because the makeup is so good, and she really kind of envelops and kind of just embodies this grandmother who is just so forceful and so in your face. She's always smoking. She's been sick for a long time, and she truly leaves an imprint on JD Vance as an individual. And from scene 1 to scene 9,150, when the film eventually ends, the mark that Glenn Close leaves on you as a person is truly a mesmerizing experience. So she's quite good, definitely an Oscar-worthy performance, and it was amazing that I usually can remember that people like an actor or an actress are in the movie, but the way she transforms herself it's incredible. It's a really great performance. And Amy Adams, as we always know, is a very good actress. She's an exceptional actress. She always finds ways to kind of test herself, to kind of push herself. You know, this movie is similar to the dark nature of stuff like she went into, like with Sharp Objects and so on and so forth. So her performance is a really kind of stern performance, is a really sad performance, and it's something that we just kind of see her go basically straight down in the hellscape that is the drug abuse situation. And like I said, it's a powerful performance, but it completely has been overshadowed by how good Glenn Close is in this movie. And because this movie does follow a very samey structure when it comes to like the storytelling, the Gabriel Basso character, the JD Vance character, is the main front center who we completely follow. He's our eyes and ears throughout this entire movie. But like I said, because the other characters are so strong, he feels like that typical character that we are used to. He's kind of like the Billy Crudup character in Big Fish, where we kind of see his character just kind of is there to kind of push the story forward. And then Haley Bennett, she's in the movie. She doesn't have a lot to do in the movie, but like you said, she's important to JD Vance's life and what he has to go through, and her kind of importance of him growing up and so on and so forth. So, but overall, like I said, this is a very different movie for Ron Howard. It's a very hard movie to watch, and it will make you uncomfortable. It really will. It's not a movie that, you know, you'll probably watch more than once, and that's all right. It still makes it a pretty decent movie and has great performances. Like I said, if Glenn Close doesn't get an Oscar nomination, I'll be surprised. But it's a definitely a movie that I was not expecting from Ron Howard. So, but that's it. That's my take on Hillbilly Elegy. Thank you as well to Netflix for letting me see this movie early. But let me know in the comments below what your favorite Ron Howard film is. Like I said, mine is honestly Apollo 13, always has been. But otherwise, if you like this channel, hit the subscribe button to join Movie Emporium. Hit that notification bell at the top to find what's coming next. If you like this video, awesome. Hit that like button, and we'll see you guys on the next video. Peace out.